You're always worrying about your bangs. Is something wrong? A girl stood there, dressed in black with long bangs covering half of her face. She fixed her hair against the partition, seemingly concerned about not showing her skin. The girl was surprised and speechless at the sudden question. Then Miyu, who was standing next to her, spoke up. Mizuki-chan. You have burn marks. My eyes widened at those words, and Mizuki-chan slowly brushed her bangs in front of me. There were deep and painful burn marks that were hard to believe were on the face of a young girl. As a medical professional, I couldn't ignore this. If you don't mind, would you let me fix those burns?
Is that okay?
Of course. It's my way of thanking you for taking Miyu home every day. My words would drastically change my relationship with her, and our future together. I never imagined that things would turn out like they did. My name is Yuto. I'm 33 years old. I was born and raised in a medical family that had been in the medical field since my grandparents' generation, and both my father and mother were medical professionals. Since I was a child, my home was always busy, and I have almost no memories of celebrating birthdays or spending New Year's together as a family. I grew up in a somewhat cold atmosphere, feeling that medicine was something that would destroy families. However, an event that changed my life occurred in the summer of my first year of high school. When I was seriously injured during club activities and taken to the plastic surgery department, the doctor who examined my wounds repaired it surprisingly beautifully. It's okay, it will heal properly. His kind words and principles captured my heart. I truly believed from the bottom of my heart that medicine is an amazing job that can save someone. From that day on, my goal was set: to become a plastic surgeon. After studying hard, I entered medical school, completed my internship and training, and passed the national exam. I began working at a hospital and spending busy days as a plastic surgeon. At that time, I had a newly married wife and a small daughter, Miyu, but the reality was different from my ideal. The job of a doctor was busier than I had imagined, and I didn't have time to go home and see my family. My conversations with my wife decreased, and I felt the distance between us growing, and eventually she asked for a divorce. I don't want to raise a child who looks just like you. With those final words, my wife walked out of Miyu's sight. Since then, I've been raising Miyu all by myself as a single father. At first, I continued working at a large hospital, but I felt that it was nearly impossible to balance medical practice and childcare, and I was reaching my limit. So I took the plunge and moved back to the countryside where my parents live, and opened a small clinic on the property. In order to not slack off on either work or childcare. In the spring, Miyu started elementary school. I was determined to shoulder more responsibility as a father than ever before. And today, another hectic day begins for me. Sigh. Today is also a close call. At that time, I was busy running the clinic and raising my daughter Miu. I would take Miu to school before my morning clinic. That was my daily routine at home. To be honest, both my mind and body were at their limit. Then one day, Miu came home late at night, excited. "Daddy, I'm home." "Oh, you're feeling good today. Did something happen?" She was smiling at the entrance, still carrying her school bag. Today, I went flower viewing with her older sister. So, she came home with me. What kind of girl was she, big sister? She was wearing black clothes. Her name is Mizuki. She's in the 5th grade. Seeing Miu talking happily, I felt a little relieved. But then she said something that surprised me a little. "So, Mizuki, did you promise to pick me up tomorrow too?" "Really? Did Miu ask you to do that?" "Yeah. I told you tomorrow in front of your house." Seeing Miu's innocent smile, I couldn't help but fall silent. I don't know if the promise between elementary school students will be fulfilled, but seeing Miu's expectant eyes, I made a decision. "I'll wait with you tomorrow." The next morning, I came to pick up Miu. A girl with long bangs wearing black appeared with a bright and cheerful voice. Her bangs fell down to her chin, and her eyes were hidden behind her hair. She greeted me properly, but for some reason, she didn't make eye contact even once. "Well then, I'm off." "I'm off." The two of them waved cheerfully as they headed out, but the image of Mizuki-chan, who had a somewhat mysterious air about her, wouldn't leave my mind all morning. From then on, she came to pick Miu up every morning without fail. Little by little, she started to strike up conversations with me too. "Thank you as always. Are you okay with your plans with your friends?" "It's more fun when I'm with Miu. You really help me out." At first, she was nervous, but after a few months, she finally started to look me in the eye when she spoke to me. That's why I couldn't help but be bothered by a certain way she did things. Whenever the wind blew, Tasuki would quickly reach out and desperately hold back her long bangs. At first, I thought it was just a habit, but gradually I began to realize that she was trying to hide something. What's behind her bangs? The more I got to know her, the more concerned I became. Mizuki started coming every day, and I no longer needed her morning presence, so I finally had more time to myself. And after a few months of talking to her, a certain way she did things started to bother me more and more. Mizuki started coming every day, and I no longer needed her morning presence, so I finally had more time to myself. And after a few months of talking to her, a certain way she did things started to bother me more and more. It was the way Mizuki would hurriedly hold back her bangs whenever her face was even slightly visible in the wind. At first I thought it was just a habit, but it was obvious that she was hiding something. Even I, who had always been told I was slow, could tell that she was holding something back. In fact, around this time I had been hearing little by little from her daughter, Miyu, about her. "Hey, Dad, Mizuki. She lives with her mom who stays home. A single-parent household like mine. When you get to her age, you can be too shy to tell your parents how you really feel. Maybe she herself has something she can't tell anyone about." Then one day, Mizuki started looking at me with eyes that seemed like she wanted to say something. "Huh? Is something wrong?" "No, it's nothing." When I spoke to her, she would show her expression for a moment and then close her heart right away, but it wasn't just once. It happened over and over again, and a certain feeling grew inside me. I wonder what it is. I'm really curious. But it's not right to force her to tell me. And yet, one day I couldn't help but intervene. "Hey, Mizuki, don't you have something you want to say?" "Also, you always have those long bangs held back. Is there something wrong with that?" At that moment, I regretted what I had said. She was still an elementary school student. Maybe she had been hiding it all this time because she couldn't easily tell someone. I should have asked more carefully and sympathetically. Thinking like that, I waited for her reaction. But then, I heard a word from right next to me, even though it was not reading the mood, and it was said with her in mind. "I'm still here after Mizuki." Both Mizuki and I stared at her in surprise at these words. I wondered if I should get angry, but Miyu didn't mean any harm. I thought she was just telling it to Mizuki out of concern for her, so I couldn't scold her. At that moment, Mizuki spoke quietly. "I got burned when I was little. The after effects still linger, and my classmates said some terrible things about me because of it, so I've been hiding it." Quote. I wasn't surprised after all, and Mizuki didn't look like she was bothered. I've seen many patients with dysplastic syndromes in the past. It's too late for something like that to happen now. And I'm also someone who was seriously injured in the past and was saved by plastic surgery. That's why I came with you, because I really wanted to help someone. If it's okay with you, can I see the burn marks? This time, I spoke to her as gently as I could. Mizuki hesitated for a moment and touched her bangs, but then she calmly brushed them back. And there it was. Oh, it was more than I imagined. The burns were so large and deep that I almost screamed, and I could tell at a glance that they had never been treated before. If they had been treated properly right away, they wouldn't have been this bad. Why hadn't anyone treated them until they got to this point? I felt a sense of irritation towards my mother, whom I had never met before. But right now, I was more concerned about her. Hey, Mizuki. Can I fix these burns? Huh? Can I thank you? For coming to pick up Miyu every day. And since I'm in the lower world, I'm sure I can fix them nicely. Mizuki seemed confused by the sudden offer. It's only natural that she couldn't answer since she's still in elementary school and hasn't consulted her mother. It's okay. I'll explain everything to your mother. Mizuki, don't worry. I said that to ease her anxiety as much as possible. At that moment, Mi gently took Mizuki's hand. Daddy is really kind, so it'll be okay. Don't be scared. And if mommy is worried, I'll go with you. Quote. Really? Yes. Really? Quote. Mizuki burst into tears as if she was letting out everything she had been holding back. Please. I want to get rid of the burn. Of course. Mizuki, you don't have to worry about anything. Mizuki nodded while crying, and as I gently stroked her head, I swore in my heart. I will definitely take away this child's suffering. With my own hands, for sure. About 2 weeks later, Mizuki came to visit my house with her mother. The woman standing at the entrance was Mizuki's mother, Chihi. She looked beaten up and her clothes were somewhat painful, far from the image of a mother who had done nothing to treat her that I had imagined. Quote. I'm sorry. It's so late that I couldn't bring myself to tell you. It's okay. Thank you for coming. After confirming Mizuki's relieved expression, I invited the two of them into the house. And then I started talking about treatment. I'm sorry for getting ahead of the conversation. However, I couldn't just leave her alone as a matter of fact, and I wanted to give her treatment as a thank you for taking Miyu to and from school. Although she must have heard about it from Mizuki, Chihi looked confused at the proposal of free treatment. Is it really okay for a woman to do this? I just took her to and from school, and now I want to treat her. Seeing her confusion, I told her honestly why I wanted to do this, in order to reassure her. Until a few years ago, I worked at a large hospital. However, due to my busy schedule, I divorced my wife, and since becoming a single father, balancing work and childcare has been much harder than I imagined. I think I've made my daughter endure a lot since she was in nursery school. However, since meeting Mizuki, Miyu has started to really enjoy going to school, and she now shows me smiles that I've never seen before. That's why I'm so grateful. As a thank you, would you please give me treatment? Tears welled up in Chihi's eyes when she heard my words. After a short silence, she slowly opened her mouth. Mizuki's burns were caused by her ex-husband's carelessness. Huh? I was surprised, as all Mizuki had told me was that she had burns when she was little. My ex-husband was a man who did unreasonable things. He was convinced that his own ideas were absolute, and no matter how many times I warned him, he would insist that it was okay and wouldn't listen to me. When I took my eyes off her for just a moment, that happened. Perhaps she remembered that past. Chihi clenched her fists tightly and quietly shed tears. If I hadn't taken my eyes off her, I could have protected her. I'm sure she kept blaming herself. After that, she got scared and left the house with all her money. I decided that I couldn't do it with that man anymore, so I got a divorce. I really wanted to get her treated right away. But I couldn't afford to be single, and I really regret that I made my daughter go through this because of me. It's not that I didn't treat her. I just couldn't. She was a mother who always put her daughter first. When I saw what happened after that, I arbitrarily decided that she was the mother who had neglected her. But I was wrong. Chihi cared about Mizuki more than anyone else, and she tried desperately to protect her. It's not your fault, Mom. Don't cry. Mizuki gently leans against Chihi and hugs her tenderly. Seeing that makes me resolve anew. Mizuki seemed to be hesitating, but her mother talked to her and she agreed to receive treatment. Mizuki, who had been anxious the whole time, must have felt a little relieved after hearing her mother's feelings. She looked me straight in the eye and nodded vigorously. I couldn't say it in front of my mother, but if it could be fixed, I want to fix it properly. Yes. Thank you. I will definitely make your skin beautiful again. When I held out my pinky finger while vowing this, Mizuki gently intertwined hers with hers. At that moment, I remembered the determination that had once saved me. And a few days later, Mizuki's treatment began quietly. One day, sometime later, after finishing her treatment, Mizuki looked much brighter than before. Her bangs were neatly cut short, and she used to wear all black, but now she chooses pink dresses and skirts. And that morning, Miyu came to pick me up. Her cheerful voice echoed throughout the house. I answered her voice from inside the house and went to the front door. Good morning, Mizuki. That outfit is cute. You bought it for me, didn't you? Look at it. Saying that, she spread her skirt loosely and spun around once to show me. Seeing her smiling broadly, I felt relieved from the bottom of my heart. That's true. Bright colors really suit you. You're cute. It's all thanks to Yuto-san. Thank you so much. Before I knew it, she had changed from calling me old man to Kyuto-san. I was a little embarrassed by the sound of it, but I was happy. Are you okay with the treatment? Are you okay? Yes, she said it was. Okay to take off the bandages now. Look, she said that and brushed her bangs back, happily showing me her beautiful skin. Just then, Miyu finally finished getting ready and came out. Wow, that's amazing. You look so pretty. Mizuki-chan, you're doing great. Yes. Miyu-chan's dad is amazing, isn't he? Question mark. My dad is a famous person. The two of them left, giggling and giggling. As I watched them leave, I realized once again that my ordinary work had led to someone's smile. One evening, after Mizuki had played with me, I accompanied her home. Chihi seemed to be arguing with someone in front of the house. What are you doing here? Go home. I've
been looking for you. I wanted to start over.
Dad. That voice was that of my ex-husband who had left home long ago. It was your fault that we had to leave, so what are you talking about now? Of course it's impossible. I was wrong back then. But I won't do it again. I want to start over. It's no use saying anything now. Just go home and let
Mizuki in. Even if it's just for a little while.
Chihi is usually quiet, but that time she was holding back her strong anger. What are you talking about? Don't call me your father after what you did. I was wrong back then. But I'm Mizuki's father. I should have the right to let Mizuki in. Just because you're blood doesn't mean you're her father. If you're going to call yourself her father, do something appropriate before you do so. Being a father isn't just about money. It's not like you can just give money. Mizuki, who had been trembling with her small body beside me as I silently watched the exchange, suddenly jumped forward. Quote, I don't want your money either. You're not my father anymore, since the day you abandoned me and Mom. Mizuki said this firmly and clearly, with tears in her eyes. But her ex-husband didn't listen to her words, and instead tried to raise his hand in response to his emotions. Hey, I quickly grabbed Mizuki from behind and held his arm down tightly with my other hand. Are you okay? Yes. Thank you. I returned Mizuki to Miyu and faced my ex-husband head-on. What were you trying to do just now? No, I'm still his parent. That attitude is strange considering you want to start over. I couldn't keep quiet any longer. If you're serious about calling yourself Mizuki's father, you should at least think about what you should do. Huh? It's none of your business. It is. I want to protect these two. I don't really want to go back to the way things were. I just thought I'd get my money back. Besides, I don't want to spend my money on a child with burns like that. At those words, Chihi's calm voice echoed through the room. That's enough. With just those words, she took an envelope out of her bag and slammed it at her ex-husband. What the heck is this? There's no way I can pay that much. Don't mess with me. I've been preparing the compensation money all along. If you don't want to pay, that's fine. But I've already told the company. I've made arrangements so that they can seize it at any time. With the envelope in his hand, his face turned pale and he left the scene, speechless. He didn't even say a word of apology to Mizuki and Chihi. After the brief encounter with her ex-husband, everyday life returned to normal. Mizuki and Miyu continued to play together every day, while Chihi and I had fewer opportunities to see each other. Then one day, a message arrived from Chihi. It may be too late now, but I want to thank you. Thanking you was just something I did. But you changed my life and my daughter's life. So please let me express my gratitude properly. Before I knew it, I was being questioned by MI. It's because Papa is taking so long to make a decision. Finally. You must have been embarrassed because Yu-san is the only boy. I see. But he's Papa, after all. The two children were happily talking together, but for some reason, the topic of their conversation turned out to be about a plan to go out together as a group of 4. I felt warm inside when I saw them laughing like that, even though I thought I had somehow gotten dragged into it. That day, I had a chance to be alone with Chihi. I'm sorry for all the trouble I caused you the other day. No, don't worry about it. Are you okay after that? Yes. My ex-husband was reluctant at first, but when I told him I was going to tell his company, he immediately paid through his lawyer. That's good. Also, please let me pay for your medical expenses. I'm really fine. Mizuki always helps me out, and that was my way of saying thank you. Thank you. Saying this, Chihi bowed deeply. At that moment, I accidentally overheard the voices of the two who were playing nearby. When you're like this, you all seem like family. I get it. It feels more like Pa than Yuto-san now. Can I call you Mama too? Huh? Hey, wait a minute. You two tried to stop them in a hurry, but the momentum didn't stop. Mizuki made eye contact with me with a smirk. I get it. I know it in my heart. But I've failed before as a doctor and as a father. I don't want to drag my children along with a half-hearted relationship. That's what made me speak up. But since then, the four of us have been going out together more and more. When I'm with them, I feel strangely calm, and the feeling of carrying everything on my own that I've felt up until now has gradually faded away. Then one day, hey, Yuto-san, you have something you want to tell me? Just say it. What's the big deal? Mizuki-chan's mom and I have been waiting for you. I want to call you Pa as soon as possible, Yuto-san. There. Straightforward words stirred the feelings that had been buried deep in my heart. I had been putting the brakes on myself by saying I was busy with work, but maybe that was just an excuse. And before I knew it, I had put it into words. Chihiro. Yes. I really like you. At first I just wanted to heal Mizuki's wounds. But as we spent time together, I was moved by the way you and Mizuki were, and I began to think that I wanted to support the two of you from now on. Would you like to become a family, the four of us? I could hear the children's small cries of kya. Yuto-san, I like you too. You didn't give up on us and faced us, and now I feel like I want to support you more than you. She seemed embarrassed. But Chihi told me her feelings honestly. When I heard those words, I almost started crying. The children's congratulatory voices echoed as if they were pushing me forward. From then on, Chihiro and Mizuki started living together at my house. We had only known each other for a short time, but considering Chihiro's financial situation and my busy work schedule, I decided to start living together early. When I couldn't see her off in the morning because I had to go to work, Chihiro was there, so Miyu didn't feel lonely anymore. Mom, I'm leaving now. Just a moment. Miyu. My sister hasn't put on her shoes yet. Come on, Mizuki, don't be mean. It's dangerous, so go with me. Okay. I'm going. After the sound of the door closing, the living room suddenly became quiet, and I put on my sartorial kimono as usual. Thinking back, the reason my previous marriage failed and the loneliness I'd been carrying since I was a child were all because of my job. That's why I thought that as long as I was always in the dark world, I'd never realize what a happy family was like. But that's not the case anymore. Every day now is warmer and more fulfilling than it was back then. Yuto-san. Shouldn't we officially become a family soon? Huh? It's almost time for our children to become big sisters, and I thought it would be nice if we could start anew when they're both grown up. Yeah. I thought the same thing. In a few months, Chihi and I plan to officially register our marriage. From that day on, Mizuki and Miyu will become real sisters and become a new family. That's the future I'm looking forward to more than anything right now. Okay. In the quiet living room, I gently reach out my hand. In that empty space, as if to reaffirm the promise I made with Mizuki someday. Even after becoming a family, let's continue to live happily and happily together. As I say this, I gently join my pinky fingers together. Just as I was saved by that person in the past, now I will protect this family. Thank you for watching until the end. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Yeah.